Hi all, this is Jared Grillett, and this is Differentiation with Style, Applying Multiple Intelligences in the Classroom. First of all, what does it mean to be smart? If you have your own classroom, or if you want to remember back to your old school days, everybody knows who the smart kids in the classroom are. This, of course, implying that the other kids in the classroom are not smart, and if we are not going to accept that, then we need to reevaluate what the concept of what being smart means. Here are some ideas about different ways of being smart. This, of course, applying to concept of Gardner's multiple intelligences. Gardner, professor at Harvard, came up with the idea that different people are smart in different ways. And the ways that he came up with identified several different intelligences, starting off with verbal linguistic intelligence, having an understanding of the use, meaning, and order of words, logical mathematical, understanding math and other logical systems, musical intelligence, understanding creating music, bodily and kinesthetic intelligence, using the body for self-expression or towards a goal. And no, this does not apply only to PE. This also applies to many other performing arts and anything else that requires the student to get up and move when they're performing or presenting a task. Visual spatial intelligence, understanding of visual and spatial concepts, perceptions, and creation and recreation of visual and spatial ideas through drawings and pictures, models, and other um, visual means. Interpersonal intelligence, understanding and communicating with other people, being able to communicate effectively, being able to look at their point of view, and other ways where you dealing with other people. And then, of course, there is intrapersonal intelligence, which is the understanding of one's own thoughts and emotions. Getting started with multiple intelligences and applying it to the classroom, first of all, starts out determining different learning styles, determining the learning styles of your particular group of students. You can start this off using early introductory lessons, individual lessons that target different learning styles. That way you can see what students how students perform on these particular tasks, and use that observation to determine a better idea of what their learning styles are. Also providing choice activities that again are targeted toward different learning styles, and you can observe and record what particular activities that students gravitate towards to give you an idea of what styles they feel more comfortable with. Once you have an idea of the different learning styles in your classroom, playing to strengths. No, there is no one size fits all. This is differentiation, of course. But lesson tasks based on identified learning styles. Give them something that you know that they're going to be good at. Um, this involves oftentimes involving student choice, having multiple task options, either different tasks or different ways of performing the same task. Also, if you use collaborative learning in your classroom, providing multiple group roles with different roles targeted toward different learning styles. The assessment is always the key. Assessment becomes more about outcomes and not on the method of presentation. So you, as a teacher, create the criteria for the assignment based on the standards, but then those criteria become applicable to multiple formats. Making use of multiple intelligence classroom then becomes first about student projects, students learning to initiate and manage complex projects when they are creating their student projects. And then again, assessments allow students to show what they've learned, and sometimes this does in fact take form of allowing students to devise the way he or she will be assessed while still meeting the teacher's criteria for quality. That comes to designing with style and lesson planning and lesson designing, working on integrating multiple learning styles either by combinations of different styles incorporated into one lesson, so multiple activities performed during one lesson, each of those activities addressing a different learning style, or multiple assignments possibly during a unit where each of these assignments addresses a different learning style, ensuring that either during a lesson or during a unit the different learning styles of the students in your classroom will be addressed. Problem and project-based learning is a great way to incorporate the use of multiple intelligences in the classroom. These are assignments that are solving problems that you present, or open-ended problem solving, or assignments that allow students to create. Um, Again, student choice and assignment completion. So with these problem or project-based learning, it still gives the students the opportunity to choose how they want to complete the assignment. So research papers, posters, video documentaries, live action drama, and different other things where students are using their learning style to create the assignment. All of these different things can be tailored towards use of individual or group work, and in fact even the idea of whether you're doing things individually or as a group can be made as a student choice. Again, assessments, assessing the style. Starting off with the assessment rubric, this is going to be a rubric that you create. You can either create multiple rubrics based on different methods of turning in the assignments. You can have a poster rubric and a research paper rubric and a rubric for everything that you're going to accept, or, and this is my recommendation, creating a single more universal rubric that caters more towards the criteria rather than the method. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So you, using standards, will identify the necessary components within the rubric. Creating a student checklist based on the rubric that you create. This is extremely helpful to give students guidelines on how they are going to complete the task regardless of which method they use. You provide the components that are required. Again, the method of presentation and submission is not required. So let's check out some examples of checklists and rubrics. First, I'm going to start off with a standard. I chose a Kansas, United States and World History 4th grade history benchmark number 4, indicator number 5. As you can see right here, uses research skills to interpret a historical person or event, note sources, formulate broad questions, variety of sources, all of these other things. This is a great benchmark to look at when talking about project and performance-based assessments. So we're going to take that idea and we're going to go to one of my favorite places, Rubistar. And Rubistar is a rubric creating website that you can log into. They are templates available, but they are customizable, they are savable, they are recreatable. You can print them out and use them over and over again, and they are actually quite this simple. You click on go up here and click on create a rubric. Once you've logged in, you can see customizable rubrics for all these different types of learning activities in all different subject areas. But since we're working on this, we're going to go to a research report for our historical figure. And now I'm going to call this research report historical. Oh, that's not good. Figure. And come down here, and these are all drop-in things that you might choose as criterion for your research assignment. Amount of information. Topics are addressed, at least 2 sentences each, and again you can modify. All of these things are customizable and modifiable, so you can change them based on what types of assignments you're going to allow. Organization. Information is organized. Well-constructed paragraphs, whether that be again in paper form or poster form or however you're going to accept things. Sources. Sources including information and graphics accurately documented or not documented, and however you're going to accept these. So all of these different criteria, again, you are choosing criteria, and you can modify these to allow different types of assignment submissions. Once we have a rubric, then we're going to go next to creating a student checklist based on that rubric, and each of these headings identifies a different criteria: research, reliable sites, variety of books. Did you find the content that you needed to finish the project? How is it organized? How is it structured? If you're using writing, again, these can be modified. Self-evaluation, again, this is the student's checklist for them to go through and see if they've done what you've asked them to do. And it even finishes off by asking some additional extension questions. What did you find out that surprised you? The most important things you've learned? What would your goal be for your next research report after this? So asking students to reflect on the work that they've done besides simply self-evaluating with a checklist. So okay, a few helpful tools. Again, the Rubistar for .4teachers.org, the rubric builder for customizable, savable templates for rubrics designed for different tasks. And this book, From Standards to Rubrics in 6 Easy Steps by Kay Burke. This is a great book, a how-to guide for building authentic, standard-based performance tasks with the associated rubrics and checklists to go with it. And if you buy a brand new one, it includes the template CD for all of these checklists and things, and multiple lesson and unit examples. I highly recommend that if you are interested in this type of learning that you check out these resources.